Good morning, class 11. In the last session, children, I discussed with you the concept of Aufbau's principle, and with the help of Aufbau's principle, we learned to write the electronic configuration in terms of SPDF subshells. And as homework, I told you to write the electronic configuration of elements from atomic number 1 to atomic number 30. Now, there are some exceptional electronic configurations and some important electronic configurations that I need to tell you. So first of all, children, I'll tell you that manganese having atomic number 25. Okay, this is a very stable electronic configuration. This particular element has a very stable electronic configuration. How? So first of all, to understand that, we need to write the electronic configuration. So it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 10 elements done. Then after 2p6 we have 3s2. Then after 3s we have 3p6. So 10, 11, 12, 18. Okay. Then after 3p we have 4s. So 4s2, 20 elements are done. After 4s we have 3d according to Aufbau's principle. Now 5 more electrons are to be compensated or accommodated. So those 5 electrons will go to this d subshell of the third shell. Okay, and as you know that at the max, d subshell can have how many electrons? It can hold 10 electrons, and here you can see that it has 5 electrons in d subshell. And this particular electronic configuration, if you remember, I told you in the last session that half-filled and fully filled electronic configurations are very stable. So manganese, the electronic configuration of manganese is very stable. It has very less tendency to lose or gain electron since it is a metal. So you will talk about losing electron. It is very stable, right? Now one more stable electronic configuration I will discuss with you. Meanwhile, you can also write the electronic configurations with me if you have not written, children. Though I expect you that you must have practiced the electronic configurations till zinc, that is atomic number 30. So now when you write the electronic configuration for zinc, it is 1s2, 2s2. If you are finding any difficulty in writing the electronic configuration, please keep the Aufbau's principle chart in front of you so that you know that how am I proceeding. 1s2, 2s2, then 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2. So 4, 6, 10, 12, 18, 19, 20. Now we have 10 more. So next is 3d. 10 electrons will go to this. Again you can see here, children, that we have achieved, in case of zinc, we have achieved this full stable electronic configuration. This is half filled, this one is half filled, and this one is fully filled, and both are stable. Okay, and then I'm taking another example. Let's say nitrogen, atomic number 7. Now when you write the electronic configuration of nitrogen, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Again you know that p can hold 6 electrons at the max, and it has 3 electrons which is half filled. So this is also stable because of half filled electronic configuration. So I hope these are clear to you. Now coming to exceptional electronic configuration. So first of all, I'll take the example of chromium. Chromium is atomic number 24. So when you have to write down the electronic configuration of chromium, which is atomic number 24, you will write this again. That is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, and 3p6, 4s2. We are left with 4 more. So it will be 3d4. This is the expected electronic configuration. This is the expected one. But in actual case, what happens? one electron from S moves to this D in order to make it stable. This is an auto adjustment, you can say. In order to make this chromium stable, what happens? One electron from S moves to D. So at last you'll have 4s1 and 3d5. Now this is half filled stable electronic configuration, which is like manganese. So this you have to remember, because this is an exceptional case and most of the times it is asked also in exam, because children have a tendency to write it like this. So please do remember, children, that in the case of chromium, one electron moves from here to here, and in case of copper also the same thing happens. Copper is atomic number 29. So when you write the electronic configuration, as I told you, you can write it in short. You can write it like this. Argon is 18, the nearest noble gas with respect to this copper. Okay. Then argon 18. After argon 18 means we have reached till, this is 4, 10 and 18. We have reached till here. So next is 4s2, which is 20. Now you are left with 9 more electrons, so you can write 3d9. Again you can see here, children, that this D needs only one more electron to become stable. So again, to make it stable, one electron from S moves to D. So the actual electronic configuration of copper is argon 18, 4s1, 3d10. So this is the actual electronic configuration and this is the expected. So these two, chromium and copper, these two are exceptional electronic configuration. Write it in your notebook and mark it as important. I hope it is clear, children, these half filled and fully filled electronic configuration concept. So after you have written down the electronic configuration of chromium and copper, children, write down this note. Please write down in your notebook, children. The expected electronic configurations are due to the fact that half-filled orbitals are very stable and nature loves stability, and so do elements. So the unexpected electronic configuration are acquired to gain stability. Children, make it unexpected actually, okay, which is the actual one. Okay, so the unexpected electronic configurations are due to the fact that the half-filled orbitals are very stable and nature loves stability, and so do the elements. So the unexpected electronic configuration are acquired to gain stability. In case of chromium, it is half-filled, and in case of copper, it is fully filled electronic configuration. And then, as in case of chromium, its electronic configuration, d orbitals are half-filled. You can add one more line, that in case of copper, d orbitals acquire fully filled electronic configuration. You can write it in your own words to understand it in a better way. Okay, and as you can see here, that I have written d first and then 4s. So don't get confused with this, children. You can write 4s before 3d, because actually when you write it according to the Aufbau's principle, what happens? According to Aufbau's principle, if you observe it, you can see here that 3d comes before, you can say here 4s comes before 3d. But in some cases you will find that 3d is written before 4s. So that is actually for different cases. When you will learn about writing the electronic configurations and you will apply the electronic configurations to understand the different concepts, then you will be able to understand the difference. For now, you will be writing 4s before 3d, following this energy pattern, following this Aufbau's principle. Okay, actually at times we need to write the shells together, like 3p and 3d. These belong to third shell. So at times it is needed to write the two things together, to the two shells together, which is 3 and 3 with D and P subshells. But you can follow the energy diagram as mentioned here to write the electronic configuration. Don't get confused with it. Okay, don't get confused with what I have written here, because when you will write, children, you can follow simply Aufbau's principle, mentioning 4s before 3d. Okay, when you will be thorough with this electronic configuration concept, you can also use different patterns of writing. Now you have to write down that what is the reason behind the stability of half-filled and fully filled electronic configuration. First is the half-filled and the fully filled electronic configurations are symmetrical. Symmetrical means, suppose you have to write down the electronic configuration for D5 in terms of orbital diagram. How will you write it? You will show the filling of 5 electrons like this following the Hund's rule: 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Obviously you can see the symmetry is maintained here. And for D10 again there will be maintenance of symmetry, and symmetrical things are more stable and hence preferred. Okay, so first reason is symmetry, and then second is they possess low energy. The second reason is low energy. Low energy means max stability. So these are the two reasons for the preference of half-filled and fully filled orbitals, or you can say stability of half-filled and fully filled orbitals. You can add this to your notes. Now coming to the concept of isoelectronic species. Okay, please note down this, children. Isoelectronic species. What is the meaning of this? Iso means same, electronic means electrons. So these are the species having same electrons, having same number of electrons are termed as isoelectronic. So as you all know that if I suppose take an example of neon, which is atomic number 10, when you write down the electronic configuration of neon, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, right? Now if you have to write down the electronic configuration of Na plus, atomic number 11, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Why? Because it has lost one electron, so only filling of 10 electrons will be shown. Similarly Mg2 plus, atomic number 12, will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, because again you will show the loss of 2 electrons. If you have to write down for oxide, O2 minus, atomic number 8, again 2 minus means oxygen has gained 2 electrons, so the same electronic configuration will be obtained in case of oxygen also. So you can see in case of these 4 species, there are many other also 4 species, the number of electrons will be 10 only. So neon, all these phones, so Na plus is isoelectronic with neon, neon is isoelectronic with Mg2 plus, Mg2 plus is isoelectronic with O2 minus. So these all are isoelectronic with each other. And you can also add on some more. I hope you can think of some more species which possess 10 electrons. Like you can say that fluoride ion. Yes, fluoride ion, atomic number 9, with by gaining 1 electron, it will again have the same electronic configuration. Then Al3 plus, aluminium 3 plus, atomic number 13, by losing 3 electrons, it will also have the same number of electrons. So these are isoelectronic species. So children, with this the chapter finishes. Now I'll be discussing the questions with you and revise all the important concepts of the chapter, and in case of any doubt, children, feel free to contact me. Okay, I will be more than happy to help you out. And don't sit with your doubts, children. It is your duty to go through the videos, to make your notes and then solve the questions, so that you can come up with your doubts and clear your doubts with the teacher. Thank you for watching the video. Take care.